thank you, Brian, for that introduction. Now I've got something to live up to after that. Right, so indeed our subject tonight is Karma and Kundalini, your keys to enlightenment. Now it is a very broad subject, and there is so much to it that I won't be able to cover every single aspect of it in the space of 1 hour, but I'll do my very best to cover the important points. Globally, the impact that it has on all of us as a planetary race and also as us individually. Now, Karma and Kundalini, both those two subjects have their roots in ancient yoga tradition, and they've been spoken about independently many times. But in my lecture tonight, I want to marry the two together because they are inseparable. Karma and Kundalini, they're two words that have now entered the modern vernacular. When you talk about karma, people, they know what you mean now. They understand the concept in that if you do something bad, then something bad is going to happen in return. And they tend to look at karma in a slightly negative way. And they also intuitively know that this is true. Now, Kundalini, there's another word that is used rather glibly. And the knowledge of the serpent power was a closely guarded secret for many centuries, and it was known about in the East, much more so than in the West. And the techniques for awakening this power were by initiation only. And it's only really been spoken about in the West towards the end of the 19th century, when the great yoga teachers like Swami Vivekananda, Yogananda, Swami Sivananda, and others came over to Europe and America to teach Western civilization about the science of yoga. However, in the West, there's also another tradition which runs parallel to the Eastern tradition, and that is the Kabbalistic tradition. And they had a different system in order to gain the higher powers, but that too was by initiation only and was a closely guarded secret. So first of all, I'm going to deal with a karma. What exactly is it? Well, it is an all-pervasive law which is applied to all aspects of manifestation, from the tiniest forms of life, from the plants, the rocks, insects, through to the animal kingdom, human beings, and through to the movement of the suns and the galaxy. Everything in manifestation comes under the law of karma in one way or another. Now, to understand the reason for such a law, you have to have some understanding of the meaning of life. Now, all great mystic teachings and religions talk about the beginning of creation, the great outbreathing, where God, for a reason unknown to us, decided to send out streams of particles of itself into a material form. And these particles could be described as sparks of God, divine sparks, the spiritual flame that is contained within all life forms. And they manifest in a myriad different types of physical beings, entities throughout the universe. This you could call is the journey of involution. But the purpose of life is the long journey back to the source from whence we came, until such time as we are absorbed back into the absolute, into the great mind that created all things, and we have gone back to that source in full consciousness, with full experience. Now these sparks, these divine sparks, have free will, and our journey back to this source is governed by the law of karma. And without this, there would be chaos in the universe. So it holds everything in order. But one of the greatest concepts that we have to understand is that we are all interconnected. All life is part of the whole. And in the yogic tradition, they call this samsara, the wheel of life. And we are all part of this whole. And because we are a part of this whole, every aspect of it affects everything to one degree or another, be it infinitesimal or with a greater magnitude. Now, in metaphysical terms, the law of karma is best equated to the law of universal justice, the hand of God that metes out people's just deserts for past transgressions and good deeds. And an understanding of this law has been, well, you can certainly come across it in all religions and teachings. For example, as you sow, so shall you reap. That was taught by the Master Jesus. It's one of the tenets of Christianity. Action and reaction is opposite and equal, although I understand that actual phrase was coined by Sir Isaac Newton. Then in the Old Testament, you have an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. So throughout the ages, this law has been referred to in one way or another. It's an essential aspect of the teachings of the Lord Buddha. It's an essential teaching in the Bhagavad Gita given by Sri Krishna. So no culture in the world can really say that they have not come across this teaching. So if the purpose of life is to journey back to the source through experience from a point of involution, now we're really getting down to the nitty-gritty, then the way to do this, surely, is in harmony with the law of karma. The problem with mankind is that mankind, I mean all people on earth, is that generally speaking, we have deviated from this path, despite the correct guidance that we have been given. If you look at the world around you, what do you see? You see suffering, conflict, disease. Why? Because as a planetary race, we have deviated from this all-pervasive law. We have abused our free will. We have used it in the wrong way for personal gain, in selfish ways, and it causes harm to other people. You know, we were not born to suffer. It's the birthright of every single person on the earth to have inner joy, good health, knowledge, longevity, enlightenment. All these things are the birthright of every one of us. Now, the other law that dovetails in so perfectly with the law of karma is the law of reincarnation. The two go hand in hand, and it's through this process that all people on earth will gradually learn the lessons that they need to learn in order to evolve. Life at times may seem unfair. Why are some people lucky? Why do some people have everything they want and others have nothing? They strive just to scrape some kind of living together. They're unlucky in love. Other people seem to have a talent without any apparent effort. Other people, again, are born in war-torn areas. And so the list goes on. But evolution is an ongoing process. How can we possibly learn all the things that we need to learn, considering the point that we're at now, in one single lifetime, especially when you look at the level of advancement around you? We are simply not able to learn everything in the time frame of one single life.